Wonderful. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to Yoga on Zoom at home, which is really lovely. I'm very grateful to you for all doing this evening. The great thing as well is that I will upload this onto YouTube, and then it means that you can access it again. So if you fancy doing an extra session on the weekend, then you can tune in and you can run it as many times as you like. So we're going to start in a seated position. I'm going to suggest cross legs if that's comfortable for you. And I'm going to start with the right foot to the front. So lifting and lengthening out of the sit bones in the usual way. And we'll just take a moment to release any tension in the shoulders. So rest the backs of the hands to the inside of the thighs. Then as you inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. As you exhale, release the shoulders back and down. Inhale to squeeze the shoulders up. Then on an out breath, release the shoulders. Let's take a little more time to squeeze the shoulders up, this time rolling the shoulders back and down and starting to create little circles with the shoulders. So don't be unduly concerned if there are a few aches and pains, moans and groans, creaky old shoulders. Release both the shoulders down, then we'll isolate the right shoulder, drawing it up towards the ear and releasing. Inhaling up towards the ear, then releasing. Squeeze both shoulders again, rolling the shoulders back and down, then bringing the hands to an interlock behind the lower back, widening through the chest, engaging the core, then sliding the hands away from the lower back. So remember, in this posture, we avoid leaning forward. So try to keep that lovely long line from the back of the head to the tailbone. Encourage that stretch through the chest, through the upper arms, then release and relax. Extending the arms forward, a little counter to that chest opening. Bring the palms together. We'll stack right forefinger over left, opening the hands to the heart, then engage the core, and we'll squeeze the belly button towards the back of the room, so rounding through the spine. Then inhaling to lift and lengthen back to center. This time turning the hands inside out, keeping the core engaged and floating the hands up towards the ceiling. The intention here is to lengthen through the arms, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, drawing the tummy button in. It's almost as though you're lifting the weight of the rib cage off the belly. So we create extra space through the side of the waist, nice and soft in the knees and the jaw. Then as you exhale, release and bring the hands back to chest level. Now to balance out, let's switch that leg crossover. So we'll have the opposite foot in front or behind. And again, we'll come to that nice lifted and lengthened out of the sit bones. And then we're going to bring the hands again to that interlock under the chin this time. So when the hands are positioned under the chin, take care not to be pushing the head up. It's fine to rest the weight of your chin on the back of the hands, but the neck doesn't move, the head doesn't move. The action here is to lift the elbows up and away, then draw the elbows in towards the chest. So inhaling to lift the elbows up, exhaling to draw the elbows in. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. One further big opening into the heart space, then that full release. Now keep the hands in the interlock, but we're going to move the hands to the back of the head. So we're supporting the weight of the head, almost leaning into the hands, lifting and lengthening again, and widening the elbows, opening through the chest. On the next out breath, lead with the right elbow, then turn your gaze over the left elbow to open into that side of the rib cage. Inhale again to return to center. Then exhale, squeeze to the opposite side, turning the gaze up. Then inhale again, back towards center. Draw the elbows in towards the face. Then widen the elbows. So same idea, inhale as you draw the elbows in, then exhale as you open. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more deep breath in, that full exhalation. Then keep the hands rested, the head rested into the palms as you turn your gaze up towards the ceiling, lifting the sternum, lifting into the chest, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. Then on an exhale, engage the core. Return your gaze forward. And once more, we'll extend both arms forward, this time bringing left forefinger over right. Drawing the tummy button in, curving the spine towards the back of the room. Then inhaling to lift back to center, turning the hands inside out. Inhaling to lift the arms up overhead. Softening the shoulders down away from the ears, pressing through the palms. Then we'll change our aspect here with the hands as we widen the arms, open the fingers, press through the fingertips. Then we'll draw the hands down to create a T shape. Fingertips in towards the palms, thumbs up, shoulder blades drawn together. Once more, bringing your focus to the breath. So if it helps to close the eyes, to just bring your full awareness to that central line of energy. Visualize breathing from the tip of the nose along the nasal passages. As you exhale, feel that warmth over the back of the throat. Inhaling to lift and lengthen. Exhaling to engage the core, support the spine. One further full breath rotation. Noticing that heat building in the shoulders, in the core. Then after the next inhalation, blink the eyes open, wiggle the fingers, let the breath release. Then replace the hands down either side of the hips. Lovely. So I'm on a bit of a lift here, so I'm going to take that cushion away. I'm going to come to a wide leg position now. So widening the heels, toes turned up towards the ceiling. Lifting and lengthening out of the sit bones, a little gap under the knees. Start with the hands in front of the body, then as you exhale, start to gently walk forward. So we're not going to get any gold stars for getting the chest to the floor. Let's just slowly release, finding that space in the inner thighs, in the backs of the thighs, breathing in and around the hip sockets, keeping both sit bones equally weighted. Try drawing the shoulder blades together, leading a little more with the sternum. Then as you exhale, draw the tummy button in and walk the hands back towards center. Perfect. Let's fold the right heel in, so the sole of the foot to the inside of the left thigh. That left thigh stays turned up towards the ceiling. And again, that lift out of the sit bones. Right hand behind the right hip, left hand to the right knee. Keep that lift and lengthen, follow the side of the rib cage and turn your gaze over that right shoulder. You might notice a deeper stretch to the inside of the left thigh. If you feel that that left sit bone is peeling off the floor, just try to bring your weight back and down. Then realign to bring the sternum forward, hands either side of that bent knee. And on an out breath, we'll once more take that little walk forward. So again, we're mindful that we're not lifting the left sit bone from the floor. And so that we're not overworking the shoulders, just visualize easing the elbows towards the mat, towards the floor, keeping that length through the spine until we get to a point where we can feel the belly or the chest on the thigh. Exhale, draw the tummy button in and walk the hands back again towards center. Now extend that right leg, bring the left heel in. Again, we'll try to keep that right toe pointing up towards the ceiling. lifting and lengthening out of the sit bones. The right hand comes to left knee, left hand behind the hip, coming into that gentle twist here. So again, we might notice that deeper stretch to the inside of the right thigh. As we realign the shoulders over the bent knee, we'll bring the hands either side of that knee, then gently start to walk forward. Now there's always a point where that right sit bone wants to pop up off the floor. So let's resist that for as long as we can. So the key is more about that length of fold forward rather than getting the chest all the way to the thigh. You'll feel that deeper stretch, inner thigh, back of the thigh. If that starts to translate to the knee at any time, just have a little bend in the knee. Engage the core, push into the palms and walk the hand back again towards center. Lovely. Now draw the soles of the feet together, coming into a seated Baddha Konasana. Shoulders again back and down, nice and soft touch on the ankles. If you wish, you can reach a little further forward to take the toes, then exhale to hinge into this space. Wide through the knees, lengthen through the spine, leading with the sternum as we fold into this shape. Then as you exhale, engage the core. Come back again to center. Lifted and lengthened out of the sit bone. Take hold of the right foot, push through the heel. Use that left arm extended out to find your balance. Pressing through the heel to deepen and lengthen the stretch to the back of the hamstring. Again, jaw is soft, shoulders are soft. Then bring that foot in, lift and lengthen, engage the core. Let's take that opposite foot wide. Right arm this time used for balance. And it's okay to acknowledge here that one side probably feels a little tighter than the other. So work with the breath, pushing through the heel, lifting and lengthening a little out of the sit bones. Then bring that foot back to center. Keep the core engaged. You know where we're going. Both heels. I'll just point out that because you're at home, I can't do your risk assessment for you. So make sure there's nothing you're going to bang your head on. Keep pressing through the heels, lifting through the sternum, easing into that space in the inner thighs. Lovely. And just to reassure you, when this is recorded, it's only me that's recorded, so we can't see you. Then draw the soles of the feet together. That really put you off there, didn't it, Natalie? Lift up and lengthen. Then as we exhale, hinge forward, shoulder blades drawn together, easing into this space. Then we'll come back to center. And we're going to draw the knees together, and I'm going to take you straight onto all fours, but we're not going to hang around there. We're going to take the knees wide, bring the tips of the toes together, so we kind of make a bit of a frog shape. Draw the elbows towards the floor. So the elbows are underneath the shoulders. The tips of the thumbs are also touching. Then push the sit bones back. If we can, get the forehead to the floor. It doesn't matter if it doesn't go all the way. It's just something to aim for. And we'll keep that diagonal line from the back of the head to the tailbone, pushing the sit bones towards the heels and finding that little extra space in the inner thigh. Then as you lift back to center, let's keep the elbows under the shoulders, walk the feet straight back, toes turned under, thighs parallel to the floor, wide through the chest, engaged in the core. If this is troubling the lower back, you might want to lift the bottom just a little, but don't do it so much that we end up overloading the elbows or the shoulders. Wide through the chest, engaged through the core. Then on and out breath, lower down onto the thighs, the belly, the chest. Bring the forehead to the floor. Reposition the elbows either side of the chest, the palms either side of the head. Draw the shoulder blades together and pull the shoulders down away from the ears. Soften the buttocks and then gently half tilt the hips so that you're pressing into the thighs. Then inhale to lift the chest, extend the sternum forward. A nice, easy, gentle Sphinx posture. On the out breath, turn and look over one shoulder. On the in breath, look forward. On the next exhale, over the other shoulder. Then inhale again to look forward. Lower the forehead to the floor. Reposition the hands either side of the chest, elbows drawn in. Push into the palms. And we're coming back into a nice, long, extended child's pose. So this time the position of the head really follows the ears being between the upper arms. And again, it's that diagonal from the back of the head to the tailbone. Pushing the sit bones back, lengthening a little more deeply into this release. Then lift back up into the all fours position, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Turn the toes under. Exhale, draw the tummy button in, roll up through the spine. Gently nod the chin towards the chest. Then release back to that neutral spine position. Rest on the tops of the feet. Inhale to lift the chest forward. So we're driving that sternum forward, releasing the shoulders again away from the ears. Then releasing back to come to a neutral spine position. So in neutral spine, the core is engaged. We're rested on the tops of the feet, wide through the collarbones, and the back of the head is in a nice neutral line. Take that right foot back, turn the toe under and push the heel towards the floor, targeting a deep stretch to the back of the calf. Bring that knee in, extend the opposite foot back, turning the toe under, pressing the heel towards the floor. Then we'll keep that left foot back, step the right foot back, come into a full plank posture. So again, notice that the plank is a diagonal. If you're mindful that your bottom tends to be up in the air, more like a downward facing dog, just take a few moments to realign the shoulders over the wrists, to soften the elbows, to widen through the collarbones. Tiny little lift in the bottom will soften the lower back. Then turn your weight to the right side as you lift the left arm up, looking up to that middle finger on the left hand. Then replace the left hand to the floor. Take that side plank to the opposite side. And again, be mindful of a diagonal line. Too much lift in the hips. Then replace that hand to the floor. I know we all love this one, but I'll gloss over it. Knees, chest, chin, bottom up, elbows in. Then inhale to lift the chest. Thighs nicely stuck to the floor. Then an exhalation to again pull back into that lovely long child's pose. Exhaling to take the weight of the sit bones towards the heels. Finding that nice long lengthened breath here. Then lifting back up into an all fours position. Realigning knees under hips. This time walking the right hand forward, taking the left hand underneath that shoulder, bringing the ear and the shoulder to the floor. Notice that the top arm is nice and long. So soft in the elbow, but not really bent elbow. Pushing the sit bones back towards the heels, rotating the side of the rib cage up towards the ceiling. Pushing into that right hand, extending the left arm forward, taking that twist to the opposite side. And again, just finding through the breath how to take that deeper twist into the side of the rib cage. Extending that right arm forward, repeating once more that lovely long child's pose. And I remind you, we don't need to be in a rush here to get the forehead to the floor. It's better that we feel the ears between the upper arms. Then lift the fingertips, press the wrists to the floor. You'll feel that widening through the back of the shoulders. Then replace the palms. We're going to slide the chest forward. Again, we're sliding the thighs back. And we're going to come into a crocodile pose. Now, crocodile pose is a very relaxing yin posture. So we're going to place one palm on top of the other. The elbows are turned out. Then we bring the forehead to rest on the back of the hands. Now, it might be that you naturally feel that your heels roll out or roll in. Just become comfortable lying on your belly, softening the shoulders, relaxing the thighs, allowing the heels and the ankles to soften and release. And bring your awareness to the breath. Notice that with every inhalation, the belly rises. With every exhalation, the belly softens and releases. So it might be that with that deep inhalation, you almost feel as though you're lifting off the floor. Then with the exhalation, the weight of your body is sinking back into the earth. Let's direct the breath to the belly, the chest, and the collarbones. Exhaling from the collarbones, the chest, and the belly last. Almost as though you're filling a balloon from the bottom up. Then emptying that balloon from the top down. Staying in this lovely, soft crocodile pose. A full exhalation. Then gently rolling through the forehead to bring the left ear parallel to the floor. Then rolling through the forehead to bring the right ear parallel to the floor. Then back again to centre. Releasing the hands from under the head, repositioning the hands either side of the chest, drawing the elbows in, pushing once more into the palms, lifting up into the cobra pose. Please use Sphinx if that's better for your back. Then as you exhale, release back, come into another long child's pose. Now lift back up into that all fours position. Knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, fingers spread wide, shoulders nice and relaxed, turning both toes under. So the action is to press the sit bones back, keeping that long line from the back of the head to the tailbone. Then we'll lift the knees, push the heels back, and gently start to lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling. So chances are we're still quite bent in the knees. We want to feel the ears between the upper arms again. Then bending the right knee in, then the left knee. So as you lift and bend one knee, then the other, we're pushing the opposite heel to the floor and just getting a little more space to the back of the thigh. Press both heels back, lift the tailbone, press the thighs towards the back of the room, lengthening now to come into a traditional downward facing dog, inverted V position. Now lift your gaze to the end of the fingertips. If you have any trouble with your knees, you might want to walk the next piece. Otherwise, jump the feet forward. Beautiful. And we're going to come into Malasana pose. So Malasana pose is called garland pose in the English translation. My preference in Malasana pose is to get the heels to the floor, but that's not always accessible. So if you have to be on the balls of your feet, that's okay. Bring the palms together and we're just resting the elbows to the inside of the thighs, shoulders back and down. And again, I'm just going to take a few moments to tune into the breath. You want to feel relaxed and released in this posture, which is all very well and good if you're up in the balls of your feet. It's hard work. Then we're all going to come onto the balls of the feet, lifting the heels. So you might want to use your hands for a bit of support. Bounce the heels in underneath the hips, bending the knees so that the knees are facing forward rather than turned out. Extend both arms forward, and I'd say interlock the thumbs is useful. Engage the core. Now the key is to keep the heels up in this posture. We don't put the heels on the floor. Use that core engagement to lift up. I'm just walking back so that I'm still in shot. Then as you exhale, keep the heels up, lower down. And I'll just mention that if you have trouble with your knees, you're probably best not doing this one because it will overload that joint. So engaging the core, lowering down, inhaling, lifting up, keeping the balance on the balls of the feet. I said the word balance. Then inhale, lift up, separate the hands. We'll bring the hands back down either side of the hips. Then we'll lower the heels towards the floor. Just take a moment to become grounded. I need a moment to open a window because my heating's decided to come on full blast. And I've told you before, I'm a middle-aged woman on the turn. I can't be doing with heating. So I'll turn side on so that you can see the shape here. So we've come back to a Tadasana pose. Tadasana, heels underneath the hips. Inevitably, what happens when we come to a standing upright pose is we tend to kind of drift into the thighs pressing forward. So be mindful of keeping those thighs pressed back, tucking the tailbone under, and that core engagement lifts the weight of the rib cage off the belly. Turn the palms to the front of the room. Then inhale to lift the arms up overhead. Bring the palms together into an Anjali Mudra. We want to keep that sense of grounding down through the soles of the feet, releasing the shoulders away from the ears. As you turn your gaze up towards the thumbs, lift the sternum, then ease back. We're avoiding pushing the hips forward here. That releases through the upper thoracic spine. Beautiful. Lifting the sternum, then returning your gaze forward, feeling the ears between the upper arms. Keep that core engagement as you bring the hands back in front of the heart. Draw the tummy button in, then lift that right foot from the floor. So we want to be nice and steady on that left foot. Try to avoid gripping hold with the toes. So keep the left toes nice and soft. The right knee is a 90-degree angle. Then we'll use the big toe to draw 3 circles in towards the midline of the body. Then change direction. Take those circles the opposite way. You can decide whether your next action is to take hold of the hem of your leggings or if you maybe need a strap to grab the ankle. And again, by standing side on, this is quite useful. So in this posture, we typically allow the knee to travel forward because it's more comfortable. So the intention is that we bring the knees in alignment. So that deepens the stretch to the front of the thigh. That we again lift the rib cage up off the belly, roll the shoulders back and down. Toggle the heel a little closer to the bottom. Then on an out breath, start a 90-degree angle. So I've got a wall next to me, which is helping me to keep my balance. So by all means, use that support. Hips and shoulders parallel to the floor. And in an ideal world, that back thigh parallel to the mat. Then engage the core, lift back to center, and replace that foot to the mat. Lovely. Give that left foot a little wiggle. The toes might be feeling a little tense. Then we'll widen through the sole of the right foot and we'll lift the left knee. So we'll start with the same focus, that coming into that sense of balance to begin with. Underside of the foot parallel to the floor. Then using the big toe to mobilize the ankle. Then changing direction, taking those circles the opposite way. Then again, take hold of the ankle, grab the leggings, use a strap. Make sure that knee isn't too far forward, so pull it back. A little half tilt of the hips here lengthens that stretch to the front of the thigh. Then as you exhale, hinge. And again, we want the shoulders to remain parallel to the floor. You can use the arm to extend forward if you're not using it to hold a wall, which I probably should. Then come into that 90-degree angle. Pressing through the fingertips, pushing the sit bones to the back of the room. Then as you exhale, engage the core, lifting back to center. Perfect. Now let's come back to that lovely Tadasana position, core engaged, making sure again that we're not pushing the hips forward. So we're keeping that length by pressing the thighs back, tucking the tailbone under, bringing the hands to an Anjali Mudra, pushing the sit bones back and coming into, as deep as we can, an awkward chair pose. So in my chair, I tend to have quite a lot of hinge. My shoulders are practically parallel to the floor. The magic trick here is to ensure that you're pushing the sit bones back rather than bending the knees forward. You can usually tell if you glance down, if your knees are over your toes, then you're overworking the knee joints. So keep pushing the sit bones back, drawing the shoulder blades together, warming the thighs. That lovely thigh stretch we've just done, we're undoing all that stretch, putting tension back into the thighs. That lovely contraction. Then engage the core, push into the soles of the feet, lift the arms up overhead, soften the shoulders down away from the ears, lift the gaze again to the thumbs, and remind yourself about the importance of keeping the thighs back as you lift the sternum and then ease back into that half moon pose. Lovely. Then engage the core, bring the hands back to center, bring your gaze straight ahead. Reposition the hands on the hips, nice and soft in the knees. Again, a hinging action, this time bringing the shoulders parallel to the floor, pushing the sit bones towards the back of the room. Shoulder blades drawn together. Beautiful. Then rather than coming back up, we'll bring the hands again to that Anjali Mudra and we'll press the sit bones back. So notice the knees don't move. We're pushing the sit bones back. Then we started doing quite a lot of mobilization at the side of the rib cage. So we're going to do a little twist now to find our way there. So let's bring left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Turn your gaze over the right elbow. So we're twisting from the waist, opening through that side of the rib cage. Then inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the opposite side. Engage the core, twist back to the first side. Work with the breath here as you exhale, open a little more into the twist. Then on to the last side. Turning your gaze up that left elbow, wide through the chest. Then as you exhale, come back to center. We'll bring the right hand to the floor, take the left hand up towards the ceiling, and then straighten the legs. Then bend the knees again, bring the left hand to the floor, take the right hand up, straighten the legs. Beautiful. Replace that right hand to the floor. So right fingertips, left fingertips touching the mat, walking the hands a little further forward to find some extra space. Doesn't matter if the knees are a little soft. Lifting the tailbone, bringing the palms to the floor, tucking the chin towards the chest. Now reposition the hands on the thighs. Draw the tummy button in. Keep looking down at the toes as you roll up through the spine. Keep looking at the toes as you roll the shoulders back and down. Then bring the head back to center. Perfect. Now step your right foot back. I'll say tram lines I've mentioned this a few times. So the insides of the feet parallel, the feet at least hip width apart. Then soften that back heel to the floor. Nice and long in the left leg. Hands on the hips so that you can feel if there's excess of movement in one hip or the other. Then on and out breath, hinge forward. Beautiful. Again, engaging the core, lengthening through the sternum, shoulders parallel to the floor. Just notice if you've maybe got one shoulder a little higher than the other. Then rather than coming back to standing, let's bend that left knee, bring the right hand to the floor, turn the belly in towards that bent left knee and look up to the left hand. Pushing the sit bones back, so becoming aware of that deeper stretch to the outside of the left hip, the buttock. Then replacing that hand to the floor, picking that back heel up, bending into a 90-degree angle on that front knee, keeping that diagonal from the hip to the heel, bringing the hands in front of the shin. So a lot of strength here on that front leg. Then inhale, lift up, 90-degree angle on the front knee. You've been drinking. Then inhale, lift the arms up, shoulders back and down. Lift the sternum, look up to the thumbs. Then turn the gaze forward, bring the hands back to heart, engage the core, step the foot forward. So if you can remember what we did, that's what we're doing on the other side. Because I think it's quite a lot of pressure asking me to remember all that. Of course we can. Right, let's do it on the other side. So we're going to come back to that chair pose to begin with. So pushing the sit bones back, 90-degree angle, warming into the thigh, into the buttock. Making sure those knees are separated. If the knees drift towards one another, it puts a little bit of tension on the knee joints. Then push down into the soles of the feet, come back to that 90-degree angle. Hands on the hips, shoulder blades drawn together. Then engage the core, lift up back to center. So last time we took the left foot back, so we're going to take the right foot. No, we didn't, we took it the other way. So we're going to take the left foot back, right foot forward. Again, hips are facing forward. We've got that nice distance between the heels, insides of the feet parallel. Then exhaling to hinge forward, coming to that 90-degree angle, shoulders square, hips in alignment. Nice and long in the front leg, so don't give in too much to that bend on the knee. Let's keep pulling that hip back so we can feel that hamstring stretch. Then we come into a gentle bend on that front knee. We bring left hand to the floor, right hand up towards the ceiling, open through the side of the rib cage. Beautiful. Then replace that hand to the floor, bouncing that back foot in, getting the heel to the floor, hands in front of the shin, shoulder blades drawn together, core engaged, lifting up. Nice. And coming up, if we can, into the warrior one position. So it helps to keep your gaze on the horizon line as you lift the arms up overhead, shoulders back and down. If you feel nice and stable, you can lift the sternum, look up to the thumbs, but it might knock you off your balance. So by all means, keep the gaze straight ahead. Then engage the core. Bring the hands back to heart. And step the feet together. Good work. So what I wanted to do tonight was, I was mindful that we were at home, so we've kind of got that unique opportunity to be a little bit more relaxed than we would be in a busy space. So we are going to do a little bit longer on the Shavasana at the end because I was quite quick into it at the beginning. So I'm just going to do another couple of stretches to release here, and then I'm going to take you straight onto the floor. So roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale to lift the arms up overhead. Soften the knees again. This time come all the way through that 90-degree angle. Once more bringing the fingertips to the floor, lifting the tailbone, pushing the thighs to the back of the room, nodding the chin towards the chest. Then bringing the hands around the elbows, forearms parallel to the floor. Then gently rocking from one side to the other. Easing into that space across the back of the hips, keeping the back of the neck nice and loose. Coming back to center, repositioning the hands on the thighs, exhaling to draw the tummy button in, looking down at the toes, rolling up. Keep your gaze down at the floor and roll the shoulders back and lift the gaze ahead. Beautiful. So I'll invite you now to get yourself comfortable. If you think that you might get a bit chilly, now is the time to pull on an extra layer, maybe pull on some socks. We'll just change the mood lighting here, make it a little bit smoochier. So bring yourself into the Shavasana position that best supports you. If you're happy to lie on your back, you might want to consider widening the hands and the feet, equal distance from the midline of the body, rather than allowing the hands to rest on the belly and creating tension here. As you come to rest and release, unclench the jaw, relax the tongue in the well of the mouth, soften the cheeks and the chin, and let's just quiet our awareness. So once more, tuning into the natural rhythm of the breath, coming to the end of each full breath transaction, and allowing any emotions that may arise to bubble up, to carry on through. As in-breath follows out-breath, follows in-breath. So throughout this Shavasana practice this evening, we want to remain aware of our connection with the earth beneath us. Through those wide muscles of the back, those pressure points at the back of the head, at the back of the heels, or at the soles of the feet. Our intention is to find zero desire for movement. So take some time now to acknowledge any discomfort in the body, paying particular attention to those parts of the body where you know that you hold stress and tension. If the lower back is asking for a little extra attention, perhaps bend the knees up to allow a widening and a softening at the back of the hips, and a mindful release of any tension held in the abdomen. Feel the released and relaxed weight of your body sink a little more deeply into the earth beneath you. Aware of your whole body being supported at this time. Your whole body supported through the length of your spine, the back of your neck, and a gentle reminder to unclench those parts of the body where stress and tension manifest for you. Relax the jaw and the temples. Soften the tongue. Release the eyebrows. And relax all the muscles of the face. Bring your focus to your breath. Feel the sensation of cool air from the tip of the nose along your nasal passages. Then that expansion of warm air as your breath passes back over the throat centre as you exhale. With every breath, become aware of drawing positive energy deeper into the lungs and the rib cage, expanding and widening into the space in front of you, expanding and widening into the space at the sides of you, and releasing any tension you may be holding in your body into the space beneath you. Simply rest here into your breath. Notice without judgment anywhere the breath may feel constricted. Now lovingly and mindfully direct a nourishing, energizing breath to the parts of the body asking for a little extra attention, and give yourself permission to unclench here, to release here, to allow any stagnant energy to shift, to melt into the earth. I would like you to paint a picture in your mind of the trees growing outside. Think of those trees drawing deep nourishment from their roots to remain grounded, to stay strong and healthy. Those magical trees recycling carbon dioxide in the Earth's atmosphere to create clean and pure oxygen. Set down your own roots deep into the Earth's core, visualizing a root from the sole of your right foot, a root growing from the sole of your left foot, and feel that cooling energy as those roots draw you down into the Earth's core, firmly grounding you into the space within this room. Throughout this practice, if you feel your attention wanders, bring your full focus back to the breath. Tune in to those familiar sensations of the breath. Cool air on the inhalation, the warm air on the exhalation. All the while remaining grounded and connected with the space that surrounds you. I'm mindful that tonight's practice is at home, so if you find that you drift off during this Shavasana, Accept this gift of deep rest. Perhaps your body needs this nourishment. And when you return to a more awakened state, take some time to reground, setting roots from the sole of your feet into the earth beneath you once more. As we settle towards a deeper state of relaxation, maintain your focus on deepened, lengthened breath to stimulate the lungs, to oxygenate the blood, and to fill your body with prana, beautiful guiding life force of positive energy to raise our vibration. Recognize that negative thoughts and fear lower our vibration and suppress the natural healing energy we hold within us. Learn to strengthen your immune system with a regular, revitalizing meditation practice, harnessing the energy of the breath to send healing to the parts of the body that need it most. Be free in your breath. Expand and widen into the space that surrounds you. Now bring your full focus to the top of your head and trace the outline of your body. You may notice that the outline sits outside of your physical body. Visualize this line as a golden white light. Trace around your whole body. Don't forget under your feet. Then trace again in front and behind your body, effectively creating a shield of pure golden white light to completely surround you. Feel that from the undersides of the feet through to the space above the top of the head. Then follow my voice as we fill this golden white outline with colours from the chakra rainbow. We'll start from the feet and work our way up through the whole body. Visualize the colour red to ground, stabilize, and to keep you connected to the here and now. Visualize the colour orange to stimulate creativity, adaptability, and to release any emotional pain. See the colour yellow now to choose hope, purpose, and a sense of being in control of your own well-being. Visualize the colour green to symbolise abundance, compassion, and love for yourself and others. Remember, you cannot give from an empty vessel. So start with self-love. Feel gratitude for your health, and for your comfort at this time. See the vibrant colour turquoise for honesty, integrity, and expression. Expression of your love, sharing your concerns, and your gratitude to others. Find your voice, speak your truth, and express yourself without fear of judgment. Bring your awareness now to the space between your eyebrows and see the colour violet. Awaken your intuition, your deeper connection with your higher self, and your resolve to find calm and quiet within you. Visualize each of these colours like a rainbow from underneath your feet to the space above your head. And notice how the edges of these colours merge with the golden white light you surround yourself with. There's no need to colour inside the lines. Be messy. Feel open and free. Now picture that space above your head filled with this golden white light, connecting you with a higher source, raising your vibration, clearing your aura, and cleansing you of any negative energy that may be stuck within your body. You're bathed within this rainbow of light. And notice if you're perhaps drawn to one particular colour. Lean into that. Explore your connection with that particular colour. And surround yourself with that familiar, comforting light. Now gradually tune in once more to the rhythm of your breath. Deep, nourishing, energizing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Through each lengthened out breath, feel your physical body anchor once more into the earth beneath you. Another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. To start to become aware again of those pressure points. Feeling your connection through the back of the body with the earth beneath you. A further deep breath in through the nose and an audible breath out through the mouth to guide your awareness back to your space within this room. Continue to tune into the breath. With each breath transaction, feeling sensation return to the physical body. If you feel disconnected, or if you find you're fighting the desire to return to physical awareness, Try repeating each out breath with an audible sigh, and once more visualizing those roots from the soles of the feet, reattaching to the earth beneath you. When you feel ready, start to make little movements to reawaken the body, wiggling the fingers, the toes, the jaw and the nose. Then if you wish, take a long stretch through the body. If you prefer, hug the knees to the chest. And in your own time, roll to the side that feels most welcoming to you. Pausing for a moment to blink the eyes open. Then returning again to a comfortable seated position. Now bring your hands to an Anjali Mudra. Touch to the head for kind thoughts, to the lips for kind words, and to the heart for kind intentions. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.